DA leader John Steenhuisen is expected to meet with President Ramaphosa this afternoon. This comes after the DA's federal executive met last night over talks ahead of the formation of the 7th administration. This took place amid seemingly no progress towards the Government of National Unity process amid disputes over cabinet posts. Negotiations saw the DA receive an offer of 6 ministerial portfolios. However, it appears that a disagreement emerged between the two parties over the trade and industry portfolio. A scathing letter to Steenhuisen, penned by President Ramaphosa, revealed that these demands would not be acceded to. Meanwhile, the nation continues to look on in anticipation of the president's announcement of his executive. This, of course, is a developing story. Well, for more on this story, I'm joined by Kganki Matabane. He's the CEO of the Black Business Council. Thanks very much, Mr. Matabane, for joining us. So you have commended or praised President Ramaphosa for not giving the DA the portfolio of trade and industry and competition. Why so?
Good day, Don Bumeral, and good day to the viewers of SABC. The history that we have as a country tells you that over the past 30 years, there has been some progress on economic transformation, but we have not arrived where we want to go. The economy is still owned less than 10% by Black people. The bulk of the CEOs of JSE-listed companies, almost 70%, is white males. So we can't at this moment in time afford to regress. And the DA is very, very, very clear that they don't buy into economic transformation. They are going to reverse this. So hence why we're saying, well done to the president. You should remain bold and make sure that any other department that has got anything to do with economic transformation should not go to people who are not buying into economic transformation.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Kganki, you know, when it comes to the different portfolios, my understanding is that different ministries are still basically at the behest of the president. They still have to ultimately do what the president approves of, as he's the head of state. So even if they got the trade and industry post, surely they couldn't just go off and do whatever they want, or is that your understanding?
No, it's not what we understand, because even some of the ANC ministers that we had in the past, even though the BEE policy is there, they just decided to sit on progress and not do anything. So if you get someone who's opposed to economic transformation 100% or more than 100% as well, what they're just going to do, they're not going to change the legislation. They're just going to leave the legislation there, but they're not going to implement anything to do economic transformation. So that's where we are worried, because the people who come there, even if once you become a minister because you're a political head, even if the director generals and everyone else buys into the economic transformation, when they bring things to you for signature, you just put them there and nothing will happen to you, because you don't even report to this person, you don't report to the president when it comes to the political party. So we have seen it before, even with the ministers of the ANC. It's going to be worse with the minister who does not even report to the president politically.
Yeah. So whatever happens, whatever the outcome with this GNU, when it comes to the work of the DTIC, we know that, of course, under Ibrahim Patel, a lot of work was done to ensure greater inclusion of Black participants in things like industrialization and trade. But what more would you want to see happen under that portfolio to, improve progress?
So, for example, we want to see a lot of money being allocated through the NEF, through the IDC, being allocated to fund Black businesses, because that's where we're struggling a lot. But we also want to see the BEE Commission, because the BEE Commission is supposed to be having teeth. We want the BEE Commission to have teeth so that it can deal with a lot of fronting exercises that are happening. On a daily basis, we get people who come to us and complain and say, I entered into this transaction with this big company, mainly white company, and they've basically robbed me. They've taken all the money overseas. I'm left with nothing. So you need the BEE commission that is got serious teeth. We need the competition commission to continue with this great work by ensuring that they open the market for new entrants. Because it's very, very, very difficult for small businesses to get into the market because the market is not open. So competition commission has done a great work. We need the competition commission to continue to make sure that all big sectors that are there are not dominated by one or two big companies. We need to open that market for small business and for new entrants to enter into the market so that we can create jobs. We're not doing this thing just for fun. We're doing this to create jobs that we need in the country.
Yeah. So we understand that the GNU negotiations are continuing between the ANC and the DA, despite the scuffles that we've heard about publicly. But if push comes to shove and they really can't meet minds, do you think that the ANC should go on ahead and develop a minority government? What do you think should happen?
The ANC still has other options. Remember, there's a minority government, but they still have other political parties that can bring them to more than 50%. So the options are still there, and I'm sure the DA will be very, very aware of that. But one thing that we don't want the DA to have an Orania in government, because if you look at if you see the letter that they had initially, they want to have their own cabinet inside the cabinet, and you can't have that from a constitutional point of view. And the other thing that we hope, and we had a chat with the powers that be, that the deputy minister that is given to the DA should not have access or control over the PIC, because the PIC is one of those instruments that are also being utilized to fund black business. Hence, we are saying it can't go there. It must remain either with the minister or remain with another deputy minister who's not from the DA.
So, in conclusion, of course, we're waiting for the president to announce. How urgent is it for him to actually make the announcement so that the country has a formal government?
It's extremely urgent. Remember, at the moment, the only authority in government is him. He's like the deputy president, he's the ministers, he's the deputy minister. You, as an individual, you don't want to have that too much power and responsibility over you. So you need to have other people to come and help you. So it's very, very urgent. Because also business wants to continue with life. And you can't continue with life without having the executive there.
Indeed. Kganki Matabane, the CEO of the Black Business Council. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us.